Good day. This is a brief video to welcome you to American Literature, English 2327 for the fall semester in 2022. I'm hoping everything is going to go well for you this semester. I'm looking forward to a good semester. This currently is the home page. When you log into Canvas and you click on the course, this is what you should see. You'll see that on the home page, information about my office hours and times. It says 1 to 4. That actually varies. I will be in the office on Mondays and Wednesdays, for instance, maybe as early as 10:30 and stay till about 3:30 or 4 o'clock. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I finish up with classes a little after 12. I usually come back to the office, so around 12:15, 12:30, I'll be in the office again. I'll stay till 3:30 or 4. There's my email address, so you should be able to reach me that way. And then also, again, here's the office phone number, which you can call. And that, of course, will be in the office while I am there. I can answer the phone there. So hopefully we're going to have a successful semester. You will see here the different modules, and you can click here, and there go to those. The links are supposed to be working. We'll check to make sure that nothing's changed. Yes, they're working. That's good. So here are the modules. You can also, if you'll notice, when I clicked on that, the word modules went to dark. And so you click on the modules. Also, if you click directly here, it'll take you to the same page. It's set up so that you have the Start Here module. The course materials from Norton. This is the way that you can access the ebook. I have it set up here for you. Sometimes this link will work. Other times this is the link you'll have to go to. And if you just click on it, there is this gray bar here, and you click on it, and it should take you to the digital textbook, and there it is. And you'll see the contents, the Volume 1, Volume 2. One of the aspects that Norton did when they went to the ebook, they combined both the full edition and the short edition online. So when you click on the contents, bear with just a moment, you will see page numbers. I have to just scroll this way. You will see page numbers. And this is for the newer edition. But let me get this adjusted here just a moment. When you come to this, if you just went to the ebook, and let me go back here to this one. Bear with just a moment. If you go to this one, which is why I have the other link, this one is the actual link to the book, but it takes you to this, and when you go onto to this link, it opens up the same aspect. And so that's why there's a little difference there. Sometimes, as I said, one link works, the other one doesn't. And both of them seem to be working today. But as I was pointing out, you'll see, as it says here, a little asterisk. You will see that that asterisk is indicating which ones are in the full edition and which ones are only in the shorter edition. And so it says the asterisks are the ones for the shorter edition with a page reference. So again, the page numbers are a little different at times, and sometimes that causes an issue. But what you can do, if you want to read Columbus's letter, you simply have to click on that, and there's the letter. And when you get here, you will notice it gives 2 page numbers, 55 and 47. Luckily, they've started specifying. In the 9th edition, they didn't do this. The 10th edition, which is the newer edition that we're using, it shows you which one is which, the full edition, the short edition. The 9th edition didn't give page numbers until you clicked on the selection, and then when you went to the selection, it simply gave you 2 numbers, and it didn't really specify which one was which. So anyway, this is how you can find your sources for your reading. So either of those links can work. I have them both up there for you. Again, this simply tells you what textbook we're using. In case you do not buy the textbook from our bookstore, you can, of course, go online to Norton and purchase it directly from them. You can buy the ebook from them directly. You can also go online and buy the book if you want a paperback version, which that's all that Norton publishes this under now is a paperback. There's the ISBN for that one. If you're going to get it from some other source, that's the IBN that you will need if you're trying to get the paperback. So again, in the modules, we have it set up for the start here, which is introduction to the course and gives you basic details about the course. It also has the syllabus and more contact information for me, and then you'll see the syllabus. It will open here. Give it a moment. It takes a little while sometimes, but there it is. There's the syllabus, which is the same one you'll see online. You can also download a copy of that here. And so if you want to download a copy, you can look at it that way. The course schedule, which also is in the syllabus, goes through the dating of the semester, and it lists the reading assignments. After a while, I quit putting the page numbers. Once you go to the contents, you just simply go through and you find the John Adams, for instance, you'll see the page numbers there. But you'll see that I have listed for you the dates and the corresponding details there for you as we work our way through the semester, so that you have the different readings, what we're going to be looking at, how we're going to be looking at those, when assignments are due, and how we're working on it. You'll see that your semester final is actually the research paper, and we'll be talking about that in just a moment. So again, the module, start your module, has several different details. One of the details I want to point out is this chart here that was made available just recently. Sometimes you just don't know where to turn for help for different areas, and this is a chart that the TVCC has come up with to show you some of these details and areas. For instance, if you're having ready for graduation, what you need to do, well, My Cardinal Connect, and there's the link to it. If you need to request a transcript, there's the registrar's office. It's in the administration building. Doesn't give you the office number, but once you get to the administration building, it's fairly easy to find the registrar's office on the first floor. It also has a phone number for you to use. You'll also see that if there's car trouble, if you are on campus and you're having issues with your car, maybe your battery's dead and there's nobody around to give you a jump, well, our campus police department will be happy to help you out there. They're located in the Math Journalism building, and there's their phone number. If there's any other issues that you need help with, this is a very useful chart and details to look at. Again, it's very, very helpful. It just, when they came up with this one, with this chart to make available for students, I thought, this is something we needed a long time ago, and we had not had until just recently. So anyway, that's a little chart for you, so telling you where you may locate help on campus. Assignment instructions are very basic, just how to find the assignments, how to submit those, how to go through those details. And then I have also for you, this didn't get as far as it should, about submitting an assignment to turn it in through Canvas. All of your assignments will be submitted through Turnitin. Each assignment will have a link that you will click on that will take you to Turnitin for you to upload your assignment. And this is a video, it's supposed to be, yes, that is done by the University of Kentucky. That simply walks you through how to submit an assignment to turn in through Canvas. Once an assignment, or it says essays, but once an assignment has been scored, I go through it, I put marks on them, I use a rubric to calculate the grade for it. You can find the feedback by clicking on the assignment, clicking on the percentage that you will see. and then you will click to see the document and go through there. You just follow these instructions here. And then last in the Start Here module is the Start Here quiz. This is not a grade. It's just something you have to do. We're required to put a Start Here quiz to make sure our students know how to use Canvas and do work within Canvas. So you have multiple opportunities to take this, many times do it. And, again, it's not a grade for you for the course, but it does give you some information in that way. Again, the course material, how to click on, either link will work for you. This is also from Norton, and when you click on it, it takes you into some details that you might find useful. Writing about American literature, the kinds of writing, developing a thesis. We will look at these more as we get ready to do the first essay. I will come back and do a video where we look at these. And then the last part here is a chapter study plan. Again, it's developed by Norton. This is just some details from them, what you should look at, how you go about approaching it, and as you're getting ready to study through the different readings, what you need to look at. I have also from Norton writing resources, the details here about reading an assignment, brainstorming, using quotations, etc. All these are some videos that Norton did, and you can view those as you need to. The next part are simply notes over American literature, some different details. And bear with it, it's supposed to upload. There you go, open up. And just talks a little bit about, in these opening notes, lecture notes about Native Americans before European immigration, and then some details about some of the early immigrants. Again, just some notes for you to look at. Help you hopefully to understand some details that you're going to be reading about. I do have a PowerPoint that you can look at. The audio is supposed to work. Sometimes the audio, when the PowerPoint uploads to Canvas and it's opened, the audio doesn't come across, and I apologize for that part. It's supposed to be there. It was there when I checked it on my computer, but when I uploaded it, sometimes it doesn't play. I, again, apologize. And then here's some more details over American literature, just some notes over some major points. And again, you bear with it as it tries to open. There we go. It just sort of covers some of the major figures. Let me get back up here really quickly. Let me try to get this to move slowly here. Here, get that out of the way. There we go. Okay, we'll do it this way. This is page 2, and it just tells you some major periods, what they're like. Now it's working. Here's about some of the major figures, some of the ones you'll be reading, some major details in the textbook. And again, it just notes some of these key points. Some of the major figures here. Let me go back to this. Talking about Anne Bradstreet, Edward Taylor, some of the different ones here. It's actually easier when I download it. Bear with me just a moment. It actually is going to be easier when you download it because it comes through a little more easily to see it. Yeah. And so you can see the whole page there in Canvas. It wasn't necessarily working. But you'll see some of the basic puritanical beliefs, common themes, key figures like Mary Rowlandson. When she was kidnapped, you'll be reading part of her memoirs on that. Anne Bradstreet will be looking at her poetry. It just goes through some major figures. I'm just going to scroll down very quickly, show you some of this. Washington Irving will be getting to. James Fenimore Cooper, we only have a little bit in his. But again, it gives you some key details about each of these figures. And so this is a very useful detail. And again, it's just a series of lecture notes and details for you to look at. This next part concerns some of the key points within the reading that you'll do. And it's supposed to have opened. There we go. This is just an overview provided by Norton, where it looks at some of the key points and details in a very synaptic way, just a synopsis of the key points. This is all about Volume A and some of the key ideas contained within it, so you can look at those. And then let me go back one more time. I have the PowerPoint here, an introduction to it, and then also have for you timelines. And the timelines are trying to give you sort of a connection of what was taking place elsewhere in connection to what's occurring in America at the era. So you see some of the details that are offered in regarding to the authors and the text, what you're reading, and what's occurring. For instance, when you have Cabeza de Vaca writing his views and commentary about what he discovers. You have, during that time, 1542, you can see that certain aspects are taking place, and it continues. You have the reign of Elizabeth starting, and some of the major events that are occurring throughout the world, as well as what's taking place in the Americas while all this is occurring. So that's what this is for. So that's a module. Again, just an overview. It does not give you readings or anything along those lines. This offers you details about Native American literature, some of the key points. This is one of the first things that we're reading. And I'll go back to the schedule here in just a moment. So you have notes and details here that are offered for you. The next part is about the colonial era, and you'll see some details about John Smith, about William Bradford, and again, other details that are offered, including commentary about the first reading, first assignment, the reading questions, the study questions that are offered. And again, as covered in Volume A, this is more about the colonial era, and details are offered. There's some videos to go along with what you're reading to expand on those assignments. And then the next part is Volume B, and you'll see some of those. And each of these modules are designed to help to provide additional information and extension of ideas that are contained within the textbook. Now, the textbook, the readings that you are expected to do are all listed here under the course schedule. So that for the week 1, you need to be looking at pages 3 through 28, about the Native American oral literature. Then you need to read about the creation stories to page 52. And then Columbus's writings, Cabeza de Vaca's writings. And I will post a video discussing some of these by the end of this week. So that I will try to have those posted. I'm actually going to try to do them on Wednesday. But I said at the end of the week, just to give myself some leeway in case something occurs, I can't get around to getting the videos done in time, I will have that option to get those to no later than the end of this week, that for each one that we're looking at. So you need to be following the course schedule, see what your readings are, and then you can go to the modules. Bear with it as it clicks in. And you will see that, again, you have some overviews and details to look at. That'll help with what you're reading. And then since the opening part talks about the Native American literature, here are some additional details that you can look at to help understand more about those, understand about the, for instance, creation myths. This is a video that is set up so that you can look at those and give some details about those. And this is the link. Sometimes the video won't play within Canvas, so you just have to click on this link. It'll open up into a new window, and you have an ad, because video does that. We can skip the ad, skip the trial. And so you'll have the Navajo creation myth. Again, it's only 3 minutes. You'll see that the Iroquois creation myth is mentioned. Also only about 3 minutes. So you have a number of those. So I'm going to stop that. But these brief little videos are really very informative. They're not very long. As I said, the longest maybe go 10 minutes. There are about 15 of these videos that you can look at that will help to reinforce what you would have read. And then again, I have some notes that are offered for you here as well that you can read through to help you understand some of the details. Gotta keep going down this way. There's more to it. There we go. And so I have these aspects offered for you. So again, just brief notes over what you would have read about when you've looked at the readings. And then I have PowerPoints as well. You'll see the same situation when you look at the colonial era. You will have read John Smith, William Bradford. I have notes there for you. Additional details about William Bradford and Mary Rowlandson. Just mentioned her when we looked at the timeline period earlier. And so again, I have some additional information for you to help expand upon what you will have read. Now let's go down to, and that's in each of these modules. The study questions, and you will again note that the study questions are listed on the course schedule when they are due. The first set's September 10th, so we have a little time. But these concern the early readings. The way you do this comes up. You can download a copy of the document by doing this. You can see them here. As it notes here, I do expect that the questions to be answered with details, information drawn from the readings. You're to be specific. You're to cite the works, and that means you have to provide a works cited page according to MLA standards. And then as a rule of thumb, please keep this in mind, responses should be longer than the questions. So when you look at this particular question here, your answers need to be longer than this. They need to be specific in detail. As you talk about Columbus and what he assumed about the individuals he ran into, the ones he called Indians, which is why I use that term there, you need to be able to explain what it was he assumed and what he put in that letter, how he explained to the parties that be in Spain. The letter was addressed to the King and Queen of Spain to justify the expense that they went through for his voyage. You need to be able to discuss those and explain what that is and how that offers us an understanding of what these people coming from Europe, Spain especially at this time, what they had hoped to find, what they thought they were going to find, what they wanted, and how they regarded what they were running into, what their attitude about all this was. So it will take some details to answer these questions. Once you finish answering your questions, you'll save it as a file, and then you will click on this. That gray bar there takes you to turn it in. You'll see the URL up here has changed to turn it in. Now I have nothing there to grade yet because nobody's turned this assignment in. When you go into it, you will of course see something a little different. I'm going to show you what it looks like. I have to go to the student view. And so it's locked till the 24th. But when you see it, you'll see the questions. You will see the bar to use. I'm going to leave the student view. You'll see that gray bar, and when you click on the gray bar, it will take you to turn it in, and there will be a submit button. Ask you to search your computer for the file you want to upload. You'll simply follow the instructions, clicking on the file to upload and to turn it in. If you've used turn it in before, hopefully you did in English 1301, 1302, you should be able to provide the finished assignment by simply you click on it and you'll provide it in provide that one as a gradable assignment. You'll upload it and turn it in. So again, the gray bars at the bottom, and all the assignments are done that way. So let me move back to the modules. You'll see the study questions are all listed here. The essay topics are listed in their own module, so it's easier to find. We do have an exam to come up, and then you have the research paper itself, and I have details about that for you as well. As we go further into the semester, we'll be looking at those. So some key points, just to go back over it. Look at the course schedule. Make sure that you're following the reading assignments by clicking on the textbook and going into the ebook, such as up here. Again, the contents. Again, under the course schedule, the first part, as it says for you, just to look at from pages 3 to 28. That's this opening part, excuse me. That's this opening part. You just look at the introduction. The reason it says page 3, this is what page 1 looks like. So, go to the next page and you'll start seeing the details here, and you'll see this is A4. So, literally, what we were just on was page 3. But he'll start talking about the details that you need to read through, the information, and it just keeps going down through page 6 in this way. Then you click, and it takes you to the next part. You're on page 7. Again, this is the opening readings that you're asked to look at, some of the details here. So when you look at your course schedule, that's what you'll look at. Going to the additionals here again, begins this. This is the page number that it looks at. This is how it looks at the cover of the paperback book for 20 through 65. So again, when you look at some different ones, that's what that looks like. Again, just go to the table of contents, scroll down, and there you'll see Native American oral literature. The first, the background material goes to page 28. The stories themselves pick up here, and you'll see some of the editor's comments about Native American literature and what these are like. And then when you click on the next part, it'll take you to stories about the beginning. You'll notice that's all that is. And then you actually have the Iroquois creation story. And then the next one is an actual excerpt of the story, a retelling of it. Then you have the Navajo creation story, a little editorial commentary about it. And the next part is the actual story itself. Okay. And so again, this is how you go through the textbook. Use your course schedule. Click on your textbook, follow along that way. When you get to wrong one. When you get to some of the other authors, as I said, what I wound up doing is not putting page numbers, but that's later in the semester, so you don't have to worry about those. But you'll see they come up in this way where they're following along here, and you'll see the different details there. So we'll be covering those later and looking at some of those. So again, what you want to do is go through the modules, pay attention to the course schedule. You can note all the reading assignments. I have additional material to help augment the reading, to give you other understanding, and I will be posting videos, hopefully on a weekly basis, for you to be able to look at. Again, I'm looking forward to a good semester. If any of you do have any questions in regarding the textbook, it was supposed to be IA, which meant when you paid your tuition, access to the textbook is included. It's supposed to be already set up. If you have an issue with that, I may not be able to help you with it, but I can direct you to some of the people that might be able to help you. If you purchase your textbook, if you opted out of IA and you went to and purchased your textbook elsewhere, which that can happen too. If you purchase your textbook elsewhere and you have the ebook, then you should have a code that when you click on what I was just showing you about the textbook, it'll ask you to register with using that code. So if you have the code, you can do it that way. If you go to Norton directly to buy your book, which is a possibility, it's a little less expensive than what we charge. But you would be given that code, and that's what you'll use to register to access the ebook. Again, I'm looking forward to a good semester, and I'm hoping that all will go well for us. And as I said, I'm looking forward to being able to go over American literature with you.